Ian is 1 week away from a content nuke. We have to denuclearize iDubbbz. You don't understand. That's my one more condition. We have to denuclearize him. And if you think about it, Ian and Iran are only one letter apart. So I don't know how many of you guys saw this. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but here is the clip that I think has been circulating that we watched yesterday, where Ian announces that Ethan is still suing him.
I'm gonna try to be as
So for anyone who didn't follow any of this stuff, maybe I should go in chronological order. Actually, you know what? I decided that's what I'm gonna do. I changed my mind. This is what we're gonna do. Because I think maybe some fake ceasefire. Where have I seen this before? Guys, comedy is illegal. What the fuck is wrong with you people? All right, dude, what were they called? Like ugly patch kids or garbage pail kids or something. They're garbage pail kidsifying Ethan Klein. Cabbage? No, not cabbage. Garbage pail kids. That's what they were called. They're doing that to him. Wow. How long ago was the Moist Critical video? What the hell? Okay. Found it. So I will do my best for people who haven't kept up with any of this stuff. Also, when you're suing like everyone all of the time, I think it's kind of hard to keep up with everything. So I understand and I have sympathy. iDubbbz's money was promised 3,000 years ago. That's actually correct. That is actually true. But it was actually promised to me. So money, please. No, I'm kidding. So let's go in order. For the people who have lived under a rock, I can't blame you, all right? First and foremost in this timeline, Sex Destiny makes message and releases videos talking about Ethan and his kids and suggests that Ethan is doing inappropriate things. Obviously, Ethan Klein never addresses this. iDubbbz proceeds to do some streams where he mocks Ethan for refusing to ever talk about Destiny defaming him. And I'll play some of this.
This iDubbbz.
So Ian does a bunch of streams as this like VTuber where he puts the text of Destiny making this insinuation on the screen and makes jokes about it to mock Ethan's relentless attacks on only his political enemies or social enemies or whatever, but he never, ever, 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 ever would give the same heat to any of the people that he admires or looks up to, in his own words. And iDubbbz does a couple of these streams.
I don't want any of my content being stolen. Got another Kalshi ad? I'm sorry, Fazium. We're all getting Kalshi ads these days. It's okay. So I do want to say I don't agree with what's being said in this comment here, but I'm putting it on screen because I think it should be addressed because it's a big, bold accusation that's very fucked up.
It is very fucked up. And
so Ian does some of those streams where he makes fun of Ethan after months of Ethan relentlessly attacking him, bringing on his old trainer to attack him, talking about his sex life, talking about Anissa's sex life. At one point, accusing Anissa of cheating on iDubbbz with me, which was an interesting thing, I guess. I don't know. There's a weird psychosexual obsession going on there for sure. Or at least he's making jokes about it. And then Ethan announces that he's going to be suing iDubbbz for this. Not Destiny. He's going to be suing iDubbbz for this. And I don't know that I have the original clip, but his defense for why he's suing iDubbbz and not Destiny is this.
I didn't follow all this. What's the deal with this Destiny connection?
The quote was a Destiny quote.
Right.
But the thing is, Destiny made it clear he didn't believe it.
False. Completely false. There's like multiple clips of him doubling down.
He was just doing it to be an asshole.
Got it.
Both can be true. Like, what? He can be doing it maliciously to be an asshole and also not saying it necessarily as like a joke. Like, what?
What is this fucking...
Oh my God, that was so loud. Sorry, let me just skip ahead just a little bit. Just to... Oh, okay. Then.
Who knows?
That banner, that was just like a statement.
Just a quote. With zero
guys, it's only defamation if you believe it's true.
So, which by the way, that's like defamation, at least in the United States, can also include reckless disregard for the truth. So it doesn't matter what you believe, it matters how you're handling the information. And then Moist Critical makes a video after Ethan announces his lawsuit against iDubbbz, and he makes a video saying, basically, why the fuck are you suing iDubbbz for this? Do I think iDubbbz was kind of being an asshole with this? Yeah. Do I think it was inappropriate behavior? Yeah. Do I think it deserves a lawsuit? No, absolutely not. It doesn't deserve a fucking lawsuit. Are you crazy?
Laws not being as protective as the
And then here is the other explanation that Ethan gives for why he sued iDubbbz and not Destiny.
About like being soft on Destiny or whatever. But I still just don't understand why Ethan is willing to just be like, yeah, but Destiny, you know, cleared up that he wasn't being serious. He was just goofing around. He was just being a dickhead. What? If the reason truly is that Canada's laws around defamation are significantly more lax and thus you have a case in Canada but not the US, then to me that tells me that it's not really a defamation case worth pursuing. And if you're not going after Destiny for these comments, but you will for iDubbbz trying to make a different point about it, again, I want to make it clear. I think the way iDubbbz went about doing this point is fucking atrocious. I don't know how much more clear I can make. But he wasn't trying to argue the legitimacy of the claim or anything like that. It was to show that you're very soft on Destiny, but not others, and used that outrageously gross comment as an example of it. But if you're going after iDubbbz solely because you know you can get a defamation case win because of Canada's laws not being as protective as the US's, that's why you don't go after Destiny, then that to me says that you were just trying to take advantage of those laws, the lax nature of those laws in Canada, to get revenge on someone that has wronged you.
I said from the beginning that if people want to go after my children, then, you know, the rules of engagement have changed forever. And that's what I said then.
And the most insane thing is he was already filing lawsuits and already sending out legal letters. And he even said that he planned the entire content nuke lawsuit. He set a trap months before the CPS visit even happened. Months before there was anyone talking about or uttering the phrase CPS. So this idea that like the terms of engagement have changed forever because of CPS is a blatant lie when you recognize that he literally admitted to setting a trap with the content nuke, which was released in January, and the CPS visit didn't happen till March. And there was no mention of CPS at any point until March. So the rules of engagement didn't change. You're just using it as an excuse for why you're allowed to pursue lawsuits, and you're just trying to justify it after the fact in hopes that no one will ever criticize you. And if anyone criticizes you, you just say, well, you must love CPS then. You must have done it.
And when, you know, when Ian broadcast this, I sent him a cease and desist because, I mean, there's certain things that you don't say and you don't do and lines you don't cross. And they flaunted it. They didn't take it seriously. And
I totally understand that. If someone is going to cross that line, going after like your children or your family, I get being upset about that.
I don't even want to get into the hypocrisy of lines you don't cross when you can look at like the history of people that Ethan hasn't liked and the way that his audience has attacked those people. So we will get past that for a brief moment so we can actually talk about what I want to talk about. I was just giving a bit of lore for people who maybe have missed some of these arcs. Also, my understanding is that in Canada, okay, so there's like I know that this might shock you guys, but Ethan Klein has a tendency to lie about things. The best source of this information is me because he's lied about me tens of times. In Canada, you're required to send a cease and desist. Maybe it's possible in Albertan court, it's a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure in Canada, you have to send a cease and desist before you can even sue. So him using this and being like, no, this was a good faith attempt. No, you were just proceeding with the strategy you initially had, which was pursuing a lawsuit against someone you don't like. Like, it's so obscene. It's like, it's unbelievably absurd. And yeah, exactly. Pretty gross boy. Okay, and then Ethan said, if you give me a heartfelt apology, I will drop the lawsuit. Ethan said to iDubbbz, if you apologize to me, I will drop the lawsuit. I wish I had the exact clip. Maybe I can find it in a sec.
I don't think he's ever genuinely apologized. or reckoned with the fact that like what he did was so extraordinarily fucked up. If he did that, I would probably drop the lawsuit.
If he apologized for showing a Destiny message on screen, I would probably drop the lawsuit. iDubbbz releases a video saying sorry to Ethan. And now I know what everyone is thinking. Well, he said probably, so he lied. Or sorry, not he lied. He said probably, so he never was going to take it away. But the problem is, after the iDubbbz apology video came out, he said, "Hi, Ian. I appreciate the thoughtful apology. It means a lot. I have instructed my attorneys to drop the lawsuit entirely." So we can look at maybe some of you guys haven't seen this video. Please sit down and enjoy. Because I actually do think this is like a really good video. And I do think it made Ethan look bad. And now I think Ethan looks even worse with what he's doing, but we'll get into it.
Talking about a very important and heavy topic for me. If you're unfamiliar with the context of any of this, I'll give you a brief rundown. But that is not the main purpose of this video. I do think it's important to share a little bit of my side of the story, but I don't want to take away from the purpose of this video, and that is to apologize to Ethan Klein and his family, especially his kids. Basically, Ethan is suing me for having rebroadcasted a statement made by Destiny on my stream. I did display the very disgusting comment for 40 minutes, and it was wrong. It was a comment from Destiny, and I even said that I don't agree with it, but it sort of highlights how I knew that it was a wrong thing to put out there into the universe and show people. Regardless of the point I was making, it was wrong. I was angry, and I was like, how do I get this guy to, one, not clip me, not mock me and harass me on his live stream, and two, this guy's a fucking bully. I'm angry. I'm angry that this multimillionaire is silencing people and suing people who have a much smaller audience than he does, and can barely defend themselves. And so I'm angry. I don't like bullies. So I wanted to do something that would have an impact, and without checking in with myself of whether or not that was a right or wrong thing to do. I justified it in my head at the time. I was like, okay, well, it's not my words, and it's actually said by a really bad guy, Destiny. Not a fan of that guy. It's very clear that it was never the right thing to do. It was a comment about Ethan and his children, and it was disgusting. I said at the time in the stream that I don't agree with it, but still sharing it and broadcasting it to people for 40 minutes, that was an irresponsible and reckless thing to do, especially for parents. Like there are many parents with kids out there who do not want to see that shit, and it's painful. And I'm sure it was extremely painful for Ethan and Hila to read that shit and have it pop up again and again and again. And just because it's coming from a piece of shit guy, and I'm showing it to people like, look what this piece of shit said. It's wrong. It's wrong to do. And I didn't come to this overnight, right? Like, to be frank, I'm angry. I do not like Ethan. I think he's doing a lot of damage to people online. And it changed the way that I was thinking about it. I didn't think about it. I didn't ground myself. I didn't think about, who is actually being affected in this instance. And Ethan's family and his kids are being affected. I just because I don't like Ethan, I think it's wrong to find an attack vector that is his kids. It's foul. It's not okay. And I think it was wrong for me to use the Destiny screenshot as a cudgel to make my point. I didn't need to use the Destiny screenshot to make my point. There's a million other ways I could have done it, but I didn't. And I regret that I didn't, and I regret that I ever put that screenshot.
I think, this apology did more for Ethan than the Casey Tron ISIS-style hostage video did. because at least this one seems genuine. Everyone immediately discarded the Casey Tron one because it looks like a woman who's being held fucking hostage at gunpoint. Like, hello? Whereas at least this one feels genuine, and it feels like what iDubbbz is saying is, hey, this doesn't change how I feel about Ethan. I still think he's a piece of shit, and I think he's attacking people who don't deserve to be attacked, and he's using his money to attack people who he knows have less money than him. But I should be able to make those criticisms and insult him and make those jokes without talking about his kids or making any jokes about that or highlighting jokes about that. I don't, just because he might stoop to that behavior doesn't mean I need to stoop to that behavior. And it doesn't change all the other things that I think about Ethan. It doesn't change all of my other feelings about Ethan and how Ethan's actions are despicable in these ways, in these ways, in these ways.
On my live stream, you know, that's the main reason why I feel like I do need, for myself, for my soul, to own up to this and acknowledge that I went too far. It wasn't okay. Ethan and Hila and their family do not deserve that. At the end of the day, whatever happens with the lawsuit is what it is. For myself, I needed to make it known on the internet that what I did was wrong, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to behave that way. I want to make content that I'm proud of. I don't want to give in to a harassment back and forth online. I want to put my energy into making content that I can be proud of and that I'm not going to be.
And again, I take most of this video to be just because his bread and butter content is just to harass people with like lies or bullshit, or just because his content is trying to make fun of people and punch down, it doesn't mean that I need to engage in that type of behavior too. I should be better. And that's not even the content I want to make. I don't want to just do drama slop content all the time. Like, that's how I took this video to be. And I took it to be a pretty genuine apology. And I took it to be something that was I feel like it played much better than Casey Tron's video did for Ethan, because at least it didn't come off like another hostage video.
Ashamed of, because I lost the plot. I want to stay focused. I want to check in with myself and know what it is I want to be and what I want to do and what message I want to spread. And this isn't a message I want to spread. So I'm sorry to Ethan and Hila and your family. You guys didn't deserve that. I'm going to think about all of this a lot more, I'm sure. But for now, I really do want to just get back to making the content that I want to make. Having said all that, I wish everyone the best. I genuinely want to see a better world, and I do not want to be a contributor to what makes it terrible. So long. Bye-bye.
And like, I took this to be less of like an apology specifically to Ethan Klein and more of like an apology to like the community and the fans of like, no, I should be able to make better content. I don't need to stoop to that level. I don't need to be a freak in that way. There's so much to make fun of. I mean, I still think like the button segment that Ian did was incredible in his content cop. That was incredible. It was so good when Ethan was watching the video, he skipped the button segment because it was so good. So I thought it came off very tasteful, and I thought it looked really good, and I had no notes on that. I thought it was great. I personally think what happened was Ethan miscalculated. This is just my speculation. There's no basis for this. I'm just saying my opinion. I think Ethan miscalculated how bad the Moist Critical video was going to make him look. And then he decided, well, let me seem reasonable and say, well, if he apologized, I would drop it. I'm a reasonable person. He even explicitly said, I don't want to be the guy who sues people. I don't even want to be that guy. It's like, you made an announcement video where you started smoking cigars by burning dollars. By burning dollar bills, fake or real, and then bragging about how you can't wait to make so much money for your lawyer. What do you mean you don't want to be the guy who sues people? You made an entire video talking about how excited you were to be suing people into poverty. You literally, when your release video wasn't, it's with great sadness in my heart that I have to say that I will be suing these people. No, you said you like bragged about it, boasted about it. And we're trying to shit on everyone's fucking grave about it. And then now that people are pushing back and saying, what the fuck are you doing, man? Why are you just becoming you're just gonna sue everyone person? You're just the guy who just sues everyone. You are the enemy you once wished to destroy. When he said, when Moist Critical released that video, I think he said, well, I'm reasonable, okay? Like, I'm willing to set it aside probably if Ian apologizes. I think he also didn't expect Ian to apologize. So when he apologized, he was like, fuck. No, fuck. But I don't want to drop this lawsuit. But I wanted to pursue it. Okay, well, I guess I'll just say that I'm dropping it and then not drop it, because earlier this week, aka yesterday, iDubbbz confirmed that Ethan Klein lied about dropping the lawsuit after explicitly saying, in response to the apology video, "Hi Ian, I appreciate the thoughtful apology. It means a lot. I've instructed my attorneys to drop the lawsuit entirely." After saying that, he decided, actually, what if I didn't drop the lawsuit? And this was confirmed by Ian yesterday with this clip.
I'm going to try to be as candid about this as possible. I have my points written down in front of me. So here is the news. Here's the important news. Number one, Ethan Klein has not dropped the lawsuit. Number two, we've been actively dealing with it for the past couple of months. Number three, I'm bringing it up now because now we have court dates, basically. And so, you know, it's becoming a lot more real. I'm not particularly surprised, but I am disappointed. There really isn't much else I can say about the matter right now because, you know, it's legal. It's legal. So, yeah, we're going to keep pushing on. That doesn't change anything here. For the rest of the stream, I am going to be doing what we normally do. So, yeah, that is it. I'm not going to be answering any questions in chat related to it.
So, yeah. And again, like, you would think a guy who seems to care so much about how people perceive him would recognize that this has nothing but bad implications for how people will perceive him, but he's doing it anyways. And I want to say, I'll probably end up clarifying this a couple times over and over and over again, but that's fine. There's like a misconception, I think, that American law and Canadian law is exactly the same for some reason. I'm not sure why. And you can see multiple people saying this. Well, now that he apologized, he can use the evidence to win the lawsuit. Now that he did the apology, he cannot admit some level of fault, so that ended up being a trap for him. Canadian law is like very different from American law when it comes to defamation. You can just like look this up. This is just some random ass website, but like apologies are seen as like not admissions of guilt in the way that American law sees it. Apologies are seen as some attempt to remedy a situation regardless of whoever is at fault. So please try not to apply your perception of American law to Canadian law because it's a different country. There's different laws. Defamation is treated differently. So yeah, apologies are just bodily functions in Canada. Quebec is actually the only province that doesn't have an explicit apology law, although it does have, yeah, but they're in Alberta, so sorry, we live in hell. I forgot the rest of the world isn't hell. Yeah, no, totally good, totally good. And especially because a lot of laws usually are the same or can be very similar, but in this specific regard, I wouldn't be so concerned. Maybe it's possible Ethan thought that and he was stupid enough to think that. And that's why he went for it. I don't know. I can't speak on his intention or what he was thinking. I don't know. But yeah, so he's proceeding with the lawsuit. And when he says that, when iDubbbz says that they're dealing with it, what he's talking about, apparently, because Ethan decided to clarify. Let me pull up his story. There were 2 stories that were put out. So I guess for some reason, Ethan decided to confirm what iDubbbz said. And he decided to confirm it by admitting that he didn't drop the lawsuit. He said, I actually don't know. Maybe I can go to Instagram and see which one was the first one. So yeah, he decided to publish this and say, iDubbbz lawsuit. My one condition for totally dropping it was so laughably small and easy that you will realize Ian and Issa are just doing this for attention. I'm going to respect the Canadian legal system and not talk about the ongoing negotiations, but if you knew what I asked for, you would laugh at how silly it is. The truth is we already signed an agreement, which they have reneged on, and they are trying to pull a fast one. So this hearing is for a judge to decide if they upheld their side of their agreement. They didn't. So a couple of things really fast. Anissa with 2 S's is crazy. She's getting the Hassan treatment. Also, what does Anissa have to do with this? Like, just really, this is a law, whatever. It doesn't matter. But more importantly, that's so small and laughable. The only condition you asked for was an apology, which, according to you, was thoughtful, meant a lot, and made you instruct your attorneys to drop the lawsuit entirely. Now you're saying there was another totally small one condition. I thought the only condition was the apology. So the only condition is not the apology? So you're lying and saying the apology was one condition, and then I decided to pull a fast one and send you guys a whole list of demands. And I think we kind of have the Noah lawsuit actually gave us this, which was kind of dope, where we actually got an opportunity because Noah's lawsuit ended with dismissal without prejudice. We get to see what the settlement talks with Ethan looked like. And this is the document that Noah Samsen put out after his lawsuit ended of the demands from Ethan and his team. Or sorry, with prejudice. Excuse me, with prejudice. My apologies, misspeaking. There was a public apology that was required from Noah on the primary YouTube channel and a tweet. It had to be pre-approved before public release. It had to say that Noah apologized for saying that Ethan supported genocide. It had to be an acknowledgement that my client and his wife have supported the Palestinian cause, but he's free to say that he disagrees with my client and that Ethan does too much to defend Israel. And the videos that were supposed to be taken down were 6 separate videos from Noah. YouTubers who backed genocide supporting YouTubers respondent. I think they meant respond, maybe not, I don't know. Ethan Klein lawsuit response. Ethan Klein offers some safety advice for Jewish viewers of Hassan. Ethan Klein is suing me. How to girl boss a genocide. And then there was a non-disparagement clause. So I think if that's what he was asking for Noah Samsen, I don't think it would be so unreasonable that this would also be something that he would ask for from all the other parties. So this one condition thing, I personally am not buying this. Like, I just had one tiny little condition on top of the public condition to apologize. The other thing too is, after he made this story saying there was just one tiny little condition and we already signed agreement, which they have reneged on. Apparently, Anissa made a tweet saying that this is just like not true, or maybe that's too. I should just read what she wrote because I think that that's the most accurate. She said, "I'm confused by this." Well, sorry, he made another story, but she said, "I don't think he understands what's going on. I'm actually kind of shocked." He also released this Instagram story saying, "We have a signed agreement in place to drop the lawsuit." Huh? You don't need to sign an agreement to drop the lawsuit. You can just drop the lawsuit. If you fail to respond, there is no lawsuit. You can also request a dismissal. You don't need to sign an agreement to do that. What? I don't understand how anyone is even a little bit falling for this. A settlement is not dropping a lawsuit. Just drop the lawsuit. You don't need the other person's signature. It's that he wants more before he's willing to, quote, drop the lawsuit. And forcing a settlement instead of just dropping the lawsuit is those are different things. Those are two completely different things. He then follows up saying, it's already done. They completely reneged, and now the judge will decide if they fulfilled it. If the judge thinks they didn't fulfill it, then they have to, and it's over. If the judge thinks they did fulfill it, then it's over. The lawsuit is virtually over, no matter what the judge decides. They are being intentionally vague to make people think it's still going on when it's basically already over. Again, this is an agreement that they've already signed. And it's over a matter that is for good sake of everyone involved. It's not an apology or demand of money or anything. It's one tiny thing that they already signed and agreed to. But I don't even know if I buy that because Anissa's tweets don't seem to suggest that. She just says, like, I don't think he understands what's going on. I'm confused by this one. What? I'm sorry, I just don't see a universe where if I was in Ian's position and then I apologized and then I was told to sign some settlement agreement, I'd be like, wait, what the fuck? I'm not signing that. I already did what you asked me to do. What the fuck? Drop the lawsuit, dude. Why would I sign anything? You can just drop the lawsuit. Hello? And here's this part where Anissa adds a little bit more context. Kilo responds saying, do you know what the thing is that he's referring to at all? Did you guys sign something related to the discontinuance? You sign off when a case is being dropped when both parties are satisfied. It's not referring to an NDA. He basically admitted it at this point. It is technically public record. So I can say, yes, he was/is looking for more than just Ian's public apology. Guys, I promise. Ceasefire. I will cease my firing. You just need to apologize. I'm just kidding. You need to do more than that. What? Well, like, what more do you want? And I'm sorry, I just don't see a world where if I was in Ian's position that I would be signing a settlement agreement to do more things when I already fulfilled, like, my social end, which was putting out a public apology with no expectation. So I don't know what the nation size of New Jersey behavior. Ian is 1 week away from a nuclear bomb. We have to denuclearize iDubbbz. You don't understand. That's my one more condition. We have to denuclearize him. Ian is 1 week away from a content nuke. Okay? He has to promise. He has to promise to not be working on any nukes. I have to be able to walk in at any point to the iDubbbz residence and inspect to ensure that there is no nuclear facility in the works, all right? And if you think about it, Ian and Iran are only one letter apart. Isn't that interesting? Bet you didn't think about it that way. Content cop, more like content Hamas. Exactly. The content tunnels. Ian has obtained the centrifuge capable of enriching clips. Chat, we cannot allow this to happen. No content enrichment past 3%. So true, I'm on Ethan Klein's side now. Ian must disarm immediately. Disarm immediately, god damn it. So anyways. And open the Strait of Hassan. Please. The Anissa Tola is at it again. Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up. The door. The door. Go. Now. The door. See yourself out, dude. Go. Stop it. Enough. All right. All right. Anyways. Yeah. And then I guess he did like a stream talking about it as well. Now, I don't know if it's an NDA or a non-disparagement clause. Or sorry. I guess, yeah, that would be NDA. If it's a non-disparagement clause or what else that he wants. Maybe he wants Anissa to write an apology, a personal apology, apologizing for being a fucking Arab and a bitch of a person. She's a bitch of a person. Maybe that's what he wants. I don't know what the fuck else he wants. I don't understand. Maybe he wants something like that. But then the thing that's confusing is like, here's him talking about how he's dropping the lawsuit with no NDA requirement. This is just speculation on some people's parts, but
That's it. I mean, that's.
oh, sorry. Let me read the full caption. Here's Ethan saying he's dropping the iDubbbz lawsuit with no NDA required, only for him to now say that he's in settlement talks, which I can only assume is him demanding some NDA.
With the iDubbbz.
Wait, no, NDA is non-disclosure. NDA is non-disclosure. Sorry, you're right. I was right the first time. So I don't know if it's that he wants a non-disclosure agreement or if he wants some non-disparagement agreement, or I don't know what he wants exactly.
That's it. I mean, that's pretty much it with the iDubbbz stuff. So, and
GG.
my attorney wanted to include like a non-disparagement.
Oh, the caption is wrong. I don't think non-disparagement is shortened like this. I think this is specifically for non-disclosure agreements. It might just be I was gonna say a misprint in the clip, but okay, continuing.
And stuff, and I told them no non-disparagement. They can say anything they want about me. We can talk about each other. It's not about silencing him at all. But yeah, I made a point. I'm dropping it. He can continue to say whatever he wants about me.
I feel like he's saying it in like no uncertain terms that he's just gonna drop it. Full stop.
And I him.
So for him to now say, well, I was sending over the settlement stuff and I swear they signed it. They signed all of it. It's like, Guys, should we trust the guy who has lied a bunch of times about a bunch of people? Or should we not do that? Or should we be skeptical when someone who is a known liar says things? The second one, H3 fan who received Lego costume from H3 podcast said it smelled like dog piss. This person literally called CPS. They did CPS. This person, they literally just did CPS to him. Like I'm pretty sure they did 500 CPS to Ethan Klein with this. K9 Piss Squadron, that CPS? Yeah. What did you guys think I was talking about? And then I saw this as well. There was like one other thing that I saw. Oh, here it is. I was like, I could have swore there was one other thing that I wanted to show you guys. I couldn't find it, and I found it. Perfect. Ethan comments on the iDubbbz lawsuit, says they're negotiating terms of a settlement.
Oh, I guess I'll just comment on this because I see iDubbbz said, I am not dropping the lawsuit. And, well, listen, it's a bunch of technical bullshit.
This is the number one sign that someone is about to bullshit you, by the way. When they start their sentence with, okay, listen. That is literally the telltale sign that someone is just about to start bullshitting you.
It's a bunch of technical bullshit. It's just we're in negotiating the terms of the settlement still. And you
don't need to have a settlement to drop a lawsuit. Like, I don't even know. There was no settlement between him and Noah. Like, I don't even know what.
That's it. I don't know. It's what it is. You know what I mean? We're negotiating the terms of the it's a meeting about the settlement. That's it. That's all it is. Right? So, whatever.
So you admit that you wanted more than just an apology, and you lied when you said, I'm telling my lawyers to stop and to drop the lawsuit immediately, and you actually want them to, I don't know what exactly more he wants. Neither party has shared what is being asked for in settlement talks. But, okay, man. Didn't he say it was a funny little thing holding them up? Well, yeah, he said, like, they just need to give me this one little thing, this one tiny thing. Just one hostage video, which I can only imagine it's like one of three things or all three things. That it's either maybe an apology from Anissa, which I don't even know if he can get that legally, like if they were to take it to court. So it's possible that he wants it because in the settlement talks, you can kind of ask for whatever you want. So maybe it's that. Or maybe it's like he does want the non-disparagement clause. Maybe he wants them to apologize for CPS or something. I don't know. It's like, I don't understand why he's not dropping it. It's so insane to say, okay, I've instructed my lawyers to drop it, and then say, well, we are in settlement talks because they don't want to give me this one little thing. But he already apologized, and you said you were going to drop it. Like, what the fuck? Maybe he wants them to delete all the videos and posts about him. Sure, that would be part of the non-disparagement clause. Or I guess it wouldn't be because that would be going forward. So maybe you're right. Maybe it is removing all other previous content. I would go by like, I would use what he asked for from Noah as like a template for maybe what he's asking for from Anissa and Ian. Oh, maybe he wants Anissa to say that Hassan is not attractive. Maybe he wants Anissa to say Ethan Klein is way hotter than Hassan. Maybe that's what he wants. That's a good guess. That's not a bad guess, I gotta say. Yeah, so I don't. Also, he specifically said he doesn't want a non-disparagement clause. He's not trying to stifle free speech or whatever. So it's. I mean, like, liars are gonna lie, I guess, but why say that then? I don't know who this is supposed to play well with exactly. He wants the pink doll back. I need you to de-hump the pink doll that I gave you, okay? And give it back to me. It was a very rare, whatever the fuck he called it. Yeah, it was a rare Pepe. Dookie, I think it started with a D. I don't remember. Dunny or something? I don't know. No, he wants it because it was humped. up. Maybe he's trying to get Hassan to hump it for him. And he's like, get Hassan to hump it on camera. It's just this one little thing. Just this one thing. I don't understand. Just one little thing. If you guys knew what it was. Oh, God. So, yeah. Besides the diehard fans, even the larger drama sphere is not even trying to defend it. I don't know that there's much to defend here. If you say you're going to drop it, then drop it. Huh? It's kind of fun to read the H3. Even the H3 subreddit people are not even defending neither. There's a couple people, but like, even they're just, the downvoted comments are pretty funny. I can remember some episode where they were talking about play buttons and taking them from his enemies, like Keemstar or something like that. So maybe he wants iDubbbz' play button. It's giving come to the studio and apologize. Or sorry, it's coming to the studio and apologizing in person. Am I the only one who's over the lawsuit stuff? I agree with the copyright lawsuits, but the ones against known iDubbbz I'm really over. He has the right to sue people. It's just more drama, and I don't want to happen. I miss goofs and gaffs. And everyone else is just like, what is the thing? What is the one little thing? Man. Japanese soldiers still waiting for goofs and gaffs 29 years after the end of World War II. The goofs and gaffs are never coming back, you stupid slut. Shut up, dude. All right. Yeah, I don't know. That's basically it from my understanding. He's just decided he's still going to be, he's trying to pursue a settlement instead of dropping the lawsuit for some reason and lying about dropping it and telling his lawyers to drop it. And he's still asking for more things outside of an apology, even though he said he only wants just one little apology. And I'm sorry, I just don't believe that, like, if I was iDubbbz and I went on a whim and I apologized and I tried to be the bigger person, and then I was given a fucking settlement paper and being like, well, you just have to do this one more thing, actually. I would not want to sign that. I'd be like, are you fucking joking? You literally said you were going to drop it off of an apology. What the fuck is this? So this whole, like, it was just one little thing. They already agreed to do it. I'm like, what? The legacy of a bully. Why did Ethan Klein sue Frogan, sue Denims, sue iDubbbz, lose weight, and Hassan Piker fall out? Sue Caseytron. Attorneys, he only has one right? Well, no, he would need to get a lawyer for Canada, right? An American lawyer can't practice Canadian law, right? I guess you can get, well, I guess theoretically you could get, you could whatever the equivalent is of the bar in Canada, but he probably more reasonably just went and got a Canadian lawyer, I think. I don't know. I don't know that Rom is also can practice Canadian law. I'm assuming not. I assume most lawyers just have the one country that they practice law in. Usually the one state that they practice law in. But it's also the bar in Canada? Okay. Well, but still, you would want to hire, like, a Canadian lawyer that specializes in Canadian court. It's like the same with anything, right? Like, you probably want to get a lawyer that specializes in that thing, even if you're suing in the same country or state or whatever. You want someone that knows local law and knows the specific thing. Like, you probably want the best defamation lawyer for a defamation lawsuit. You want the best copyright lawyer for a copyright case. So I would guess that he would probably get a Canadian lawyer for that. Because Canada law is so different. Or it is different, rather. Anyways.